Have you ever been sitting quietly in the evening, maybe knitting or listening to the radio, when suddenly that odd tingling starts up in your toes like little ants crawling under the skin? You wiggle your feet, maybe stand and pace a bit, but the sensation hangs on, sometimes warming up into a steady burn that makes it hard to concentrate on anything else. It's the sort of thing that creeps in more often these days, and you might think it's just one more part of getting older or something fixed from diabetes or old nerve trouble that doctors say won't change. But what if a large part of why it feels so persistent isn't set in stone at all? What if many of those daily feelings are being made stronger, bit by the small, ordinary things you do from morning to night without even paying attention? And for more than 20 years, I've made it my life's work to study nerve health and to sit with older folks who face neuropathy every single day. I've heard story after story from people much like you, how the burning in the soles makes standing in the kitchen feel exhausting, how numb fingers turn, buttoning a shirt or holding a cup into a careful, frustrating task, how those quick shooting pains in the feet or legs wake you up or stop you mid-step. It's draining to live with something that won't let up, especially when you've already tried so many things the doctors suggested. But over all those years, one clear truth has stood out, and it's supported by careful research from trusted places like Harvard Medical School, the Mayo Clinic, and Johns Hopkins. The usual explanations people get about neuropathy don't tell the whole story. Your nerves aren't locked away, helpless against time or illness. They're alive, sensitive things that respond to what's going on around them and inside you. The little habits you repeat every day, the ones that feel completely normal, can either quietly help keep your nerves calmer and more comfortable or, without you meaning to, add gentle pressure that builds up and makes the symptoms louder and harder to bear as time goes on. Let's talk this through nice and easy today, like we're sitting together with a cup of tea and no hurry at all. In the time we have, I'll go over 7 everyday habits that could be playing a bigger role in your neuropathy discomfort than you might realize. More than that, I'll share the simple, realistic steps you can take to turn things around, ways to soothe the irritation, get better blood flowing to those nerves, and ease the pain so your days feel a little kinder and your nights more restful. Every bit of this comes from solid studies done at some of the finest medical centers, so you can trust that these ideas have real backing behind them. If it's okay, before we go on, would you type just your age in the comments? It helps me picture you better and keeps everything I say feeling right for where you are right now. By the time we're through, you'll understand so much more clearly why two people can carry the same neuropathy diagnosis, yet live it so differently, one feeling it grow heavier year after year, while the other finds ways to steady things and even improve. You'll see how you can step into that second group, the one that experiences true, noticeable, better days instead of just hoping the decline slows. Too many folks hear that once neuropathy starts, it's bound to keep getting worse, that it's just the way things go with age. They settle into that idea and stop looking for ways to help themselves. But the important thing nobody says often enough is this: your nerves are always listening. They're tuned into the environment inside your body and the patterns you follow day after day. Those repeated choices, even the innocent ones, can either provide steady, gentle support that helps nerves stay as healthy as they can, or quietly work against them in ways that add up over months and years. I really hope you'll keep listening, because close to the end, I'll mention one habit that's so common for almost everyone past 60. Something people do without a second thought, yet it connects directly to why nerve pain can feel worse. When we finish, you'll have a clear, easy-to-follow plan to start caring for your nerves in ways that matter, beginning as soon as today. Let's start by gently looking at what's happening in your body as the years go by, things that don't always get put into plain words. When you're in your 60s or 70s, 4 main changes take place that touch neuropathy straight on. Think about your nerves as thin, careful wires threaded all through you, carrying tiny electrical signals that let you feel touch, move your legs, keep your balance. For those signals to travel smoothly and without extra static, the wires need a constant, reliable supply of oxygen and nutrients brought directly to them. Your blood vessels are the highways that deliver all that. But as we age, those highways tend to get a bit stiffer. The arteries don't open up and stretch as easily, so the traffic of blood slows down some. That means the nerves end up with a little less oxygen and food than they used to get, and over time, that lack starts to show in more discomfort. A big study done at Johns Hopkins kept close watch on more than 1,200 adults for 5 whole years. What they discovered was powerful. The people whose blood flowed more slowly in the arteries of their lower legs were 52% more likely to see their foot numbness and burning get clearly worse. That number really drives home how much your nerves depend on good, steady circulation to stay as comfortable as possible. You might already do a good job getting out for a walk each day, and that's terrific. It lifts your spirits, helps your heart, and keeps you moving. But the tougher part for so many of us is the long hours spent sitting still the rest of the time. Whether you're settled in front of the television, catching up on a show, driving to the grocery store or church, sitting with the newspaper spread out, or working a jigsaw puzzle at the table, those extended periods without shifting press on the nerves and slow the blood from circulating well. The nerves stay locked in one position, gently squeezed, and they miss out on fresh, oxygen-rich blood coming through. The simplest way to help is to make a habit of standing up every 30 to 45 minutes. When you do, take a second to circle your ankles slowly, maybe 5 times one direction, 5 the other. Then do some easy calf pumps by rising up on your toes a few times and lowering back down softly. If you can, walk slowly for 2 minutes through your house or around the room. Those little breaks open the flow again, release the pressure, and let your nerves take a quick breath. If you've ever stood up after sitting a long while and felt your feet full of buzzing pins and needles, or maybe they felt heavy and numb until you shook them awake, type "wake up" in the comments right now. I know that feeling is familiar to so many, and it's exactly why these small breaks matter so much. Here's something else that surprises a lot of people, even those who don't have diabetes at all. It's not only blood sugar that's constantly high that damages nerves over time, the frequent sharp ups and downs hurt them almost as badly. Picture eating a large helping of mashed potatoes, a slice of cake, or even a banana by itself without anything else. Your blood sugar climbs quickly. That fast rise causes swelling in the tissues around the nerves and sets off oxidative stress, which is like small sparks of irritation happening right at the cell level. A couple of hours later, when the sugar level drops sharply, the nerves suddenly run low on the energy they need to function properly, and that makes pain signals fire more strongly. When this up and down pattern happens meal after meal, day after day, it tires the nerves out more and more, and the neuropathy symptoms slowly get louder, more burning, more tingling, more sharpness. Researchers at Harvard Medical School looked at this closely and found that when older adults worked on keeping their blood sugar steadier, their nerve irritation and burning dropped by 35% in just 8 weeks. That's a real, worthwhile change, and it comes mainly from simple adjustments in what you eat with what and how much you eat at one time. To put it into practice, make it a rule to always pair any carbohydrate food with a bit of protein or healthy fat. For example, instead of eating an apple plain, spread some peanut butter on slices. Have a couple of eggs alongside your toast in the morning. Stir some tuna or chicken into your rice or pasta dish. Try eating smaller amounts more often through the day rather than 2 or 3 big meals that send sugar soaring, and do your best to avoid large portions of refined carbs on their own, like a big bowl of sugary cereal, white bread with nothing substantial on it, or soda and cookies together. When your blood sugar holds more level, the nerves skip those swelling moments and energy shortages. So the burning quiets, the tingling eases, and you feel more comfortable overall, whether you're walking around the house or sitting quietly. Even something as basic as what you put on your feet when you're at home can make a surprising difference. Plenty of us love going barefoot or wearing those soft, floppy slippers because it feels relaxed and easy after wearing proper shoes outside. But when your nerves are sensitive, that lack of good support quietly adds to the trouble. Without a firm, supportive base under your feet, every step compresses the nerves unevenly. There's less cushion to absorb the small jolts from walking on tile or wood floors, so pressure lands harder on tender areas. The connective tissues that wrap around the nerves in your feet and ankles get pulled and strained over and over with each movement, which tends to make the burning feel hotter, the numbness spread deeper, and the pain at night more intense when your body is trying to rest. Hydration is another thing that's simple but so easy to let slip, particularly as the years pass. Our thirst sense gets duller with age, so mild dehydration often settles in without us feeling especially thirsty or dry-mouthed. Yet even that steady, low-level shortage of water affects nerves directly. Water helps keep the electrical signals traveling smoothly along the nerve pathways, carries important nutrients to the cells, and washes away waste materials that can irritate tissues if they linger. When fluids are low, the nerve impulses can get jumpy or uneven, which shows up as more frequent tingling, hotter or more persistent burning, unexpected cramps in the calves or feet, or that restless, antsy feeling in your legs that makes it hard to sit still or lie down comfortably. The way to handle this is straightforward and doesn't take much effort. Get into the habit of sipping water regularly throughout the day, instead of waiting until you feel thirsty or drinking a large amount all at once. Keep a glass or bottle close by and take small drinks every hour or so. Maybe set a gentle reminder if that helps. A practical way to check if you're doing well is to look at your urine. Aim for it to be pale yellow, like weak tea, most of the time. If it's darker, that's a sign to drink a little more. For some people, especially on hotter days or after light activity, adding electrolytes from a simple powder or drink can help the water absorb better and support nerve function more steadily. But please talk to your doctor first to be sure it's okay with your other health conditions. Pain medicines can truly be a help when the discomfort flares up. They dull the edge so you can cook a meal, talk with grandchildren on the phone, or just get through the afternoon without being overwhelmed. But if you depend on them as your only answer, it can sometimes mean overlooking chances for improvement that last longer. Certain medications can gradually lessen blood flow to the nerves over time, while others mainly block the pain messages without addressing the irritation causing them. The wiser way is to think of medication as one helpful tool in a larger set of habits. The real foundation for comfort comes from things that improve circulation, give your nerves steady nutrition, keep you properly hydrated, and reduce overall stress on the system. When those pieces are working together, the medicines often do their job better, and many people find over time that they need less of them because the nerves themselves are less aggravated. Sleep is when your body does much of its repair work, including quieting and healing the nerves. But the way many of us position ourselves at night can keep nerves under pressure for hours without us knowing. If your legs curl up tightly toward your chest, if heavy blankets force your feet into a pointed position, or if your knees and hips bend sharply and pinch tissues, you can wake up with numbness that's stronger, burning that's more noticeable, and stiffness that makes the first steps of the day feel difficult and sore. Small changes can open the door to much better mornings. Place a pillow under your knees when you're on your back, or between your knees if you sleep on your side to keep the alignment soft and natural. Keep your feet in a relaxed, neutral spot where the toes aren't forced down or up. Switch to lighter blankets or layers so nothing heavy presses on your legs or feet. Those little nighttime adjustments give your nerves a fuller chance to rest and recover while you sleep, so you often wake feeling looser, with less of that early morning flare and more ready to move through your day. Chronic stress is another quiet amplifier of nerve trouble. When tension or worry sticks around day after day, your body keeps higher levels of cortisol, which causes blood vessels to tighten slightly and reduces flow to your hands, feet, and legs. Your nervous system also becomes more sensitive, so even ordinary nerve signals can feel sharper and more painful than they would otherwise. The encouraging part is that gentle, easy ways to calm things can shift this noticeably. When you feel tension building, pause for a few slow, deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, counting to 4. Hold a moment, then breathe out longer through your mouth. Try light stretches while seated, like rolling your shoulders gently or reaching your arms up overhead slowly. Take a quiet minute to notice your surroundings, the softness of the chair under you, the light coming through the window, or a favorite memory that brings a smile, or simply reflect on a few things you're thankful for that day. These calm moments send a signal of safety through your body, lower the cortisol, improve blood flow to the extremities, and soften how intensely the pain registers. People who weave these little practices into their routine often find that sudden pain flares happen much less frequently and feel less overwhelming when they do. When you look at everything together, it's clear that neuropathy rarely gets worse because of one single thing going wrong. It's the slow, steady accumulation of several common daily patterns. Sitting without breaks for long stretches, blood sugar rising and falling sharply, going without proper support on your feet at home, not drinking enough water consistently, leaning too heavily on medication without other supports, sleeping in positions that compress nerves, and carrying ongoing stress that pushes the balance toward more discomfort and less ease. But the wonderful flip side is that when you gently change even a portion of those patterns in a positive, nerve-friendly direction and keep doing it, you provide your nerves with the consistent, caring support they need to become steadier, less reactive, and more comfortable over time. Let me tell you about Margaret. She was 68 when she first came to see me. She'd been living with burning feet for years, the kind that made standing to cook dinner or walk to the mailbox feel like stepping on hot coals. Her toes had gone numb enough that she sometimes stumbled, and the pain kept her awake most nights, leaving her tired and short-tempered by morning. When she sat across from me, her hands were clasped tightly, and her voice trembled a little as she said, "I've tried everything the doctors told me. Different medicines, cutting out sugar, special socks, even soaking my feet every night. Nothing helps for long. The burning just keeps coming back, and it feels like my nerves are angry with me. I'm so worn out from it all." We talked through her typical day, what she ate and when, how long she sat watching her shows, what she wore around the house, how much water she drank, how she slept, how she handled the worry that came with the pain. Then we started the NERVO Protocol slowly, one piece at a time so it felt manageable. We emphasized getting up regularly to move and keep circulation flowing, sipping water throughout her day instead of forgetting, balancing her meals to avoid sugar swings, switching to supportive slippers for indoor use, setting up pillows for better sleep positioning, and adding a few minutes of slow breathing when she felt overwhelmed or anxious. 4 weeks later, when she walked back into the office, the change was obvious even from across the room. Her steps were lighter, her face brighter. She told me the burning had eased by about 60%. It wasn't completely gone, but it felt like the heat had been turned way down to a gentle warmth instead of a fire. She was sleeping through the night for the first time in years, waking rested instead of exhausted, and the morning stiffness that used to make her shuffle slowly had almost disappeared. What struck me most was the lift in her spirit. She smiled and said, "Doctor, I feel like I have some control again. I used to lie in bed dreading the burning that would start. Now I look forward to sleeping, and in the morning I actually feel like getting up to do my little chores or call my daughter. I don't feel so alone with this anymore." That move from feeling worn down and betrayed by her own body to feeling hopeful, capable, and connected again is something I witness over and over when people give their nerves this steady, thoughtful care. Both Margaret and Robert show the same hopeful truth. Neuropathy doesn't have to follow a fixed path of getting worse. Age and health conditions matter, of course, but the daily ways you choose to support your nerves have a strong say in whether the symptoms stay harsh or start to soften and allow more good days. Now let's walk step by step through the exact protocol I share with patients. It's called NERVO, and each letter stands for one important way to help your nerves feel better and function more comfortably. N is for nutrition and blood sugar stabilization. The main idea is to prevent those fast blood sugar spikes and drops that irritate nerves. Make it a habit to pair every carbohydrate with some protein or healthy fat to slow down how quickly sugar enters your blood. Try adding a handful of nuts to your fruit snack, putting cheese on your crackers, or having eggs with your morning toast. Eat smaller meals more often instead of large ones that overload your system, and limit big servings of refined carbs by themselves, like plain white bread, sugary drinks, or sweets alone. The Harvard study showed this approach reduced nerve irritation and burning by 35% in 8 weeks for older adults. Start with one meal a day, say breakfast, and add that pairing, then gradually do the same for lunch and dinner. You'll likely notice steadier energy and less of that post-meal flare. E stands for eliminating nerve stressors. This means identifying and reducing things that compress or irritate nerves every day. Stop going barefoot or wearing thin, unsupportive slippers at home because they let too much pressure hit sensitive areas. Instead, choose slippers or indoor shoes with firm soles for good arch support, cushioned insoles to absorb shock, and wide toe boxes so your toes aren't squeezed. The Mayo Clinic research found that making this switch indoors led to 43% less foot pain in 6 weeks. Also, pay attention to long periods of sitting or sleeping in positions that pinch, break them up with movement, or use pillows to keep things aligned. R means restorative sleep positioning. Night is repair time for your nerves, so help them by setting up your bed thoughtfully. Use a pillow under your knees if you sleep on your back or between your knees on your side to keep your spine and legs in gentle alignment. Keep your feet neutral, not pointed down hard or flexed up, and choose lighter bedding so nothing heavy weighs on your legs or feet. Studies showed proper positioning reduced morning numbness by 38% in adults over 60. Try this setup tonight and see how much lighter your feet feel when you first stand up. V covers vascular health and hydration. To support good blood flow to your nerves, stand and move gently every 30 to 45 minutes. Roll your ankles in slow circles, pump your calves by rising on your toes a few times, or take a short walk around your home. For hydration, sip water steadily all day so your urine stays pale yellow, and ask your doctor if adding electrolytes would be helpful for you. Consistent circulation and fluids keep nerve signals steady and help flush out irritants that build up. O is for overall stress management and nervous system calm. Long-term stress increases pain sensitivity and reduces blood flow to your extremities. Build in gentle daily practices like deep breathing, slow inhales through the nose, longer exhales through the mouth, light-seated stretches for your neck and shoulders, a minute of mindfulness noticing your breath or the room around you, or quiet reflection on positive memories. Patients who did these regularly reported 30 to 50% fewer pain flare-ups. Pick one that feels easiest and do it for a few minutes each morning or evening, then add more as it becomes natural. When you combine these 6 elements consistently, even if you begin with only 1 or 2 and build slowly, your nerves receive broad, balanced support. The improvements usually grow stronger the longer you keep going because each part helps the others work better.